how's everybody doing? Oh man, it's freezing out there, and I just had to fill the tanks up with water. We're staying in a buddy's huge RV up in Kalispell, Montana. So I've kind of set up a little studio in here. I think I've worked out most of the kinks in my videos, and I've kind of got a little system with the editing. But man, I am so excited. I've uploaded some videos. Everything's looking really good. So far, I'm sure there'll be changes as I go. I appreciate the subscribers already. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to share my passion of watching court TV and laughing about it and laughing with it. And laughing with all my favorite guys out there. Law Talk with Mike, Time Served, Mrs. Fields, Makes Crime Watch, Biggin. I'm just a super fan of everybody. And you guys are the one that inspired me to try this on my own. After just being super obsessed with it, watching it almost 24 hours a day. I mean, I watch it while I'm tattooing. I watch it while I'm driving. And my 4-year-old's always going, Daddy, watch the road, watch the road. And she sings, which doesn't sing it, but she always says it. And I want to share this with Mike someday. I have a video of her, of one of my first streams where she's like, you know, welcome to Law Talk with Mike. This is attorney Mike Graveline coming to you from Chicago as usual. Anyway, it's so cute. It's because she hears it so much, because I'm always driving in the car with her because she's my little co-pilot. But anyways, I don't know. I'm just super excited. Just super excited. I know things are going to be a little jumpy. I don't have the best. Well, first of all, I don't have the premium service with StreamYard yet. I'm just going to have to kind of wait on that. Everything is amazing. I'm just really looking forward to doing this with everybody and sharing videos that I find and that I've watched and kind of clip from other people. Just really excited about it. So anyways, I just had to calm down there for a second. My video was starting to kind of lag, and I don't know if it was because I was moving around too much and it's with the green screen. But I'm going to work out all those kinks as we go. But awesome. My first video is going to have a little disclaimer. It's just because I'm going to post it as a regular video also. So.
From this one,
they're asking for some modification.
Let's see, sit for hearing. Let's see. Okay. Come on.
Oh yeah, man, this dude is a real piece of. Oh,
9-4. Okay, were both parents sentenced in this case?
Yes.
Same sentence?
I believe the same sentence. They're both on probation.
That's what or just PMC. Yeah. Terminated? Were you right? Terminated?
Where is the child now?
With the mother, with the grandparents.
Grandparents. The defendant's rights were terminated.
One of the mothers.
Both of them, I believe,
Both
were
of them?
terminated. Yes. And
Which
Paternal.
grandmother, maternal or paternal?
Paternal, you're
Yes.
paternal.
And you are not to have any contact with the child, right?
Correct.
Okay, what are you asking for?
Judge, we're just asking for some sort of contact. It may be a jump to go to full rights, but I think that the court could use something like supervised contact in the presence of the guardian.
You just said
I'm just trying to
resources.
it was a post.
I had a
Yes.
program really.
Somewhat similar to the family courts will use of what they call a break-in period.
This same thing that's in the common cause.
Yeah, it's just not as much information. So I think it was done post.
Judge Stevens' head's about to explode. He is super firm, thank God, on sex offenders. And that kid, he's a new prosecutor.
Judge, it feels a little early in all of this for me to go to visitation. I did speak with the probation officer this morning, and he said that the defendant has done parenting, anger management, things like that, which do make me feel a little bit better. There is a class that I don't know that we typically do it on injury to a child cases, but the chaperone class, when we have people that end up on probation for child sexual abuse cases, that whoever is going to be the supervising person or persons, it's done through the probation department. So in this case, I guess it would be his parents could attend that chaperone class to help them. At a minimum, I would want that done before we consider any supervised probation. I don't know that we've typically done it on an injury to a child type situation. It's more on sex offenses, but I think for what it is, for what, it's just to ensure that the child is safe, that I don't think that is too much to ask of the people who have custody of this child, to make sure. I mean, everybody was around when this instance happened in the first place.
Look at his face.
So, I would ask that be done if we're going to consider that first.
I'm just looking for a plan or a process to where this can be.
I will allow that then temporarily and review it in 6 months.
How long is that for? Okay.
We review it in 3 months at the end of that class, Your Honor.
It's a 3-month plan.
I believe so.
Where are your parents?
They're here.
How does this work? Custody of the children, essentially?
Yes, we have a permanent managing conservatorship.
Mm-hmm. And what is your sense of all of this whole case?
Personally, I don't know what happened. No one was ever able to tell me what happened. Not the attorneys, not CPS, nobody.
Not the defendant?
The only thing he said was he had her in her arms, was taking her to bed. He tripped, and him and her both came in contact with the wall, and she didn't cry. He put her to bed. That's it. That's it.
No, it's
and
not.
Then 2 days later,
48 hours, the child was suffering with a serious injury.
Yes,
okay.
She was having seizures that couldn't be seen.
I sense you a little. Sorry, I was speaking when you just rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry.
This court is going to take a firm stance in these.
I want to rewind that a little bit. I'm totally confused. I thought this was a sex case.
Put her to bed.
That's it.
That's it.
No, it's
and
not.
Then 2 days later,
48 hours, the child was suffering with a serious injury.
yes,
okay.
She was having seizures that couldn't be seen.
I think just because of the way he looks.
I sense you're a little defensive for him. I find out.
That's all.
I'm sorry. I was speaking when you just rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry.
This court is going to take a firm stance in these kinds of cases. And the people involved in this probation methodology, anybody interferes with the strict adherence to these rules will be dealt with severely, isn't even the term. most severely. When there's young children who are helpless and not independent, this court, the children then become really under my care, my rules, my directions. And if somebody under this court's directions puts the children in harm's way or fails to follow any of these directives 100%, everybody involved with that will be dealt with severely. Just wanted everybody to know.
And he means that 1000%. I promise you, he means that. He does not play around. For any of the new people that haven't seen Judge Stevens, I promise you, as you watch me and the other people, if you get into this, maybe not as obsessively as I have, you will see that Judge Stevens, when it comes to children getting hurt or the elderly, or even if it's like theft from someone who's can't defend themselves, or he does not play. He does not play. And that's good, because look, a lot of these guys, when they go to prison, they're not getting it, not like they used to. It's not like it used to be. A lot of these guys are protected, or they have a protective custody place for them to be. And so when people out here in the community and in society are saying, oh, well, good, they're gonna get him in prison, they're gonna get him. No, they're not. Most 8 times out of 10, they're not gonna get him. They're not. And because they have protective custody, or they'll check in and go to the hole and be on 23-hour lockdown. And so kudos to the judge who's like, you know what? No, I'm not even going to let him barely walk the streets without all kinds of supervision. If he messes that up, I'm just going to lock him up right now, no matter what. And I promise you, when he gets sentenced, if he pleads guilty or gets found guilty, he's going to get the max. First time offender or not, he's going to get the max. All right. Sorry, I'm babbling.
Because it wouldn't be the first time we caught somebody bending the rules. Because it happens. I know it happens. Will be dealt with severely. Just wanted everybody to know. Because it wouldn't be the first time we caught somebody bending the rules. Because it happens. I know it happens, especially when you got familial situations here. But he has no contact with the child. Now, you can shake your head. I find out otherwise, and people are going to go to jail for a long time. And take care of the child that way. You can't do that in the family. I wouldn't let the family touch the child after that. Does everybody understand? We're going to wean our way into a proper method of dealing with him, because he had, we don't know what happened. Yeah, we do. He knows what happens. He pleaded guilty to this, right? You pleaded guilty to injury to a child under oath. And if anybody tips.
Hold on. I'm going to see if I have the right file. I might have the file playing off of my hard drive instead. I just want to make sure that it's not
To say, well, I just did this to get probation, then I'll put you in jail again, because you would have lied to everybody. You swore out that you committed each and every element of that crime, which is one method of attempting to purge yourself from the wrongdoing. But I find any step along the way not being done honestly and forthrightly, according to the law and the court's directions, it will be dealt with severely. And it happens in here a lot that the rules aren't followed. And when you got my attention, it will be handled by this court in a stern way. That's just the way it shall be. Does everybody understand that? It's a little child. I've got children and grandchildren, so I know how special they are. And sometimes accidents may happen. How you handle the problem is what got you in here. You have to handle it responsibly. Because they're 100% dependent at this age. How old was the child? Just months old.
4-month old.
4 months old. I can't. That's horrifying to this court. That a child of 4 months is put in harm's way by the parent, or the way you handle the error, whatever it was, accident or not. The way you handle it is, well, we take care of children and invalids and people who just aren't independent. This court is going to make sure that they're taken care of, but y'all are the family. Nobody should be first in line other than y'all on taking care of children. My goodness. Were your parents good parents? Yes. Okay. Well, then the most important gift you can give as a parent is a good example. Okay. You got to work toward doing that, you know. But anyway, we'll see. We'll modify the terms, do that 3-month program, and then come back and see where things are.
Thank you,
Okay.
Judge.
You, ma'am, look exactly like my cousin. I have a cousin who looks just like you. I mean, for a second there, I thought you were Jennifer. Ron, who's a great dance teacher. Teaches. She is. She's an award-winning dance teacher.
I used to
From
work
Port
there.
Neches. Yeah. Okay.
Judge, I have one more request. It's
Yeah.
I believe it's much easier than the last one.
Go ahead.
Mr. Spites has advanced himself towards a career of truck driving. He is taking the truck driving school. That he has an employer that wants to send him on some short runs that are going to be outside the area, which will be travel. And so what we're asking for is a travel permit for work purposes only.
Any objection to that? I don't see that as a problem. Just keep up with the probation office, the plan, okay? Because we don't want anybody to say, well, we saw the defendant in Mississippi. Did y'all know that? No, that probably would never happen. You know, people, but if that happened, I would go, well, let me check with the probation office. And somebody says, no, we didn't know that. Then you're in trouble. Just keep us informed. But we want you to get a job that's a good paying job, that's responsible work, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's just fix this. There are ways of fixing it so that everybody in the household can get together and live happily. Thanksgiving and Christmas time. I hate seeing people not together in a family because that's special. Okay, anything else?
No.
That's what we'll do. Thank you very much. Yes.
Crazy! Oh, now it worked on the one time. Okay, so we are going on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Tavante Carter, 232336. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Your Honor, good afternoon. May it please the court, Richard T. Serrano, P33828. I appeared this afternoon
I didn't
on
watch this
behalf
one
and
all the
with
way
my client via
through.
Zoom, which we have no objection to, for purpose of arraignment on a number of charges listed in the
But
complaint.
I love Judge Santo. He's amazing. You'll be seeing a lot of her on my channel.
Please.
Hey, how you doing, Your Honor? My name is Tavante Carter.
All right, fine, thank you. And Joe, did he fill out the court appointed form?
Not yet.
Count 3, but then proceeds to be count 4 and 5, which appeared to be both felony firearm. And we wanted to know if those were in fact 2 counts of felony firearm and why the defective numbering and count 5 and 6.
Okay, so there are a total of 5 counts. The defective number appears to be from the typist at the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. Count 1 is stolen property, receiving and concealing motor vehicle. Count 2 is fleeing and eluding police officer, 3rd degree. And count 3, and the numbering system is skipped.
I
It
know.
appears to be a clerical error. So then count 4 and 5 are felony firearms, and that's 2. That's because there's a receiving, concealing, and then the fleeing and eluding. So then there's 2 felony firearms. And then there's a count 5, a fifth count, I should say, which is count 6, resisting and obstructing a police officer. That's at the one line at the very bottom of the first page and the top of the second page. So there are a total of 5 counts, even though it says there's a count 6, there's all 5 counts. Count 3 was missed.
I understand, Your Honor. So 2 counts of felony firearm was my client's, one of his main questions. Do you understand that now, Mr. Carter, in addition to what we talked about?
No, I do not, sir.
What, well,
Okay,
Count-
counsel, let me just do this. I'll just read the charges. How's that?
all right, we were prepared to waive formal reading, but it would be better if he understands fully, Your Honor, of course.
Okay, the court will state that on November 1st of this year, in the area of Biddle Avenue in Wyandotte, Michigan, there's a count 1, stolen property, receiving, concealing motor vehicle, where it's alleged the defendant did buy, receive, possess, conceal, or aid in the concealment of black Chrysler 300, a stolen motor vehicle, knowing or having reason to know or reason to believe that the motor vehicle was stolen, embezzled, or converted. Contrary to MCL 750.535(7). This is a felony charge. Maximum penalty upon conviction is not more than 5 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine or 3 times the value of the motor vehicle, whichever is greater. Count 2, fleeing a police officer, 3rd degree. It's alleged on the same time or same date and location, the defendant being the driver of a motor vehicle to whom was given a visual or audible signal by hand, voice, emergency light, or siren by Adam Grote, a police officer who was in full uniform, and the officer's vehicle was identified as an official police vehicle acting in the lawful performance of his duty, directing the defendant to bring his motor vehicle to a stop, did willfully fail to obey that direction by attempting to flee or elude the officer, and the violation resulted in a collision or an accident and in an area where the speed limit was 35 miles per hour or less. Contrary to MCL 257.602A(3). This is also a felony charge. The maximum penalty upon conviction is not more than 5 years in state prison and or a $1,000 fine. Secretary of State shall suspend your license for 1 year. This is the 3rd count, but it's numbered count 4, weapons, felony firearm. You did have or carry in your possession a firearm where it's alleged that on the same date and location this occurred, a handgun at the time he committed or attempted to commit a felony, that felony being receiving, concealing motor vehicle. This is a felony charge. It's a 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device. Count 5, which is the 4th count, but it says count 5, weapons, felony firearm alleged on the same date and location. You did carry or have in your possession a firearm, that being a handgun, at the time you committed or attempted to commit a felony. That felony being fleeing and eluding 3rd offense. This is also a felony charge. The maximum penalty is 2 years conviction.
Rewind that.
Felony charge. It's a 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device. Count 5, which is the 4th count, but it says count 5, weapons, felony firearm alleged on the same date and location. You did carry or have in your possession a firearm, that being a handgun, at the time you committed or attempted to commit a felony. That felony being fleeing and eluding 3rd offense. This is also a felony charge. The maximum penalty is 2 years conviction with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device. And it says count 6, but it's the 5th count. Police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. It's alleged on the same date and location that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, a police or Adam Grote, a officer, city of Wyandotte.
Man, why is it doing that?
This is also a felony charge. The maximum penalty is 2 years conviction with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device. And it's 6, but the 5th count. Police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. It's alleged on the same date and location that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Adam Grote, a police officer for the city of Wyandotte in the Wyandotte Police Department, that the defendant knew or had reason to know is performing his duties contrary to MCL 750.81D(1). This is also a felony charge, sir. The maximum penalty upon conviction is 2 years in state prison and or a $2,000 fine. Do you understand all of your charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, just so you know, there
We
are
don't,
multiple
'cause it was so chopped up.
typographical
I
errors
apologize.
or mis
I apologize,
letters and
guys.
spelling, so
It'll get better, I
I'm
promise.
confident that it was a type, it was just a clerical typographical error with the numbering system. And so the court will also enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Sir, you have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And you had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. And you also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've already entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I've been scheduling this matter for a probable cause conference on November 9th at 8:40 a.m. And counsel as to bond.
Your Honor, after speaking to my client, he did say he wants to apply for court-appointed counsel, but he may, in fact, hire his own attorney if he can raise the funds. Your Honor, my client is presently lives with a significant other and one minor daughter, aged 2 years old. He also, he lives with his sister, but he does support a daughter that is with the daughter's mother. And Your Honor, the court will notice that my client is not working. He recently lost his job, and his financial condition is not good. He is presently on HIDA status probation. His court, examining his criminal history, he is presently on HIDA, has not been able to speak to his probation officer in that matter yet. I've advised him to do so and to contact the attorney that represented him on that matter. So my client understands the possibility that these cases would have on his HIDA status. Your Honor, he's told me that he's never failed to appear in court before. He has a valid Detroit address with his sister. We'd ask the court to consider a bond he can reasonably expect to post, Your Honor. And at this time, we leave it in the court's discretion. Thank you.
And what are you currently on HIDA status for, sir?
It was for a 3rd-degree arson. I was with somebody committing a crime. I was the only person that got caught.
How long have you been on HIDA status and probation, sir?
For about a year now. It was almost done. I had 2 years of probation.
It also appears as though you were on HIDA status for felony receiving, concealing stolen property, correct?
Correct, yes.
So 2, you're on HIDA status for 2. And also 4th degree arson, correct?
Yes, correct. I thought it was 3rd degree. I'm sorry.
No, 3rd and 4th. You have a 3rd degree and a 4th degree.
Correct, Your Honor.
And why aren't you working, sir?
I didn't
Sir,
hear
why
you.
aren't you working? Why aren't you working?
I lost my job like a month and a half ago. I was late to my orientation. I used to ride the bike to work, and I was an hour late, and the job was so strict. They wouldn't allow me. So I recently, it's an app called Variable, where you can just.
Why aren't you working?
I lost my job like a month and a half ago. I was late to my orientation. I used to ride the bike to work, and I was an hour late, and the job was so strict.
Oh, see, it is.
They wouldn't allow me.
Because I just rewinded it. It was
So I
clear.
recently, it's an app called Variable, where you can just book a shift, go to the shift, and clock out, and they pay you daily. So I was doing that day to day.
Okay. And how long did you work there, sir?
Law Talk with Mike. We're live.
I say for about like a week max before I got all the way in.
I'll have to catch that.
Before that,
And
I
so when was
was
the last time you had a job before that?
You want
The
to
last
see
time I
just
worked the
an
job
amazing
was
lawsuit guy, Law Talk with
like
Mike.
a week ago, week
He's
and a
over
half
there in
ago.
Chicago.
But it's on Variable.
Super.
Variable is an app that you download on your phone, and they got jobs all across the city on it.
Okay,
Variable.
I didn't understand anything you just said, sir.
You said
A
what
week and a
again?
half ago? I didn't understand anything you said after you said a week and a half ago is when you last worked.
The last time I worked the job was like a week and a half ago, Your Honor.
And where was that? I didn't understand what you said.
It was through the variable app.
Through the what?
Through the variable app in Detroit. Variable. VERYABLE.
Oh, very able. Okay, is that our temp service, sir?
It's like a job app on your phone. Yes, it is like a temp service app. Yes.
Okay.
They pay you
Okay.
same day when you clock out.
Okay. All right, and Detective Sabo, your name for the record, please.
Detective Steve Sable, Your Honor. And
All right, thank
since,
you.
thank you. And since Mr. Serrano mentioned about the HIDA, and it's kind of expanded or expounded on with the court, the weapons offenses and receiving and concealing, I don't think that it's unreasonable due to the incident and the severity of it that Mr. Carter is a danger to society. And he's had many opportunities on his probation, et cetera, to stay straight. This is a pretty serious offense. So we're asking $100,000, 10%,
Look that dangerous.
GPS tether,
I'm not saying because of his size.
no drugs or alcohol
maybe
not
I-
prescribed, and certainly no weapons. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. The court will note after hearing from Mr. Serrano, hearing from Mr. Carter, hearing from Detective Sabo, reviewing the criminal history, and noting that there are multiple charges of Mr. Carter that are similar in nature to the current charge he's facing, and the fact that Mr. Carter is currently on probation for 3 charges, one of which is the exact same charge that he is being charged with here today. The court, and given the nature of the allegations, the court does find that Mr. Carter is a danger to society, as well as the fact that he has a hard time complying with court orders. And I don't believe that he would necessarily comply with the court orders. Hopefully, a monetary incentive, $100,000, 10%, would be helpful to Mr. Carter. In the event bond is posted, GPS tether through the wing, the fact that he has a hard time complying with court orders, and I don't believe that he would necessarily comply with the court orders. Hopefully, a monetary incentive, $100,000, 10%, would be helpful to Mr. Carter. In the event bond is posted, GPS tether through the Wayne County Jail, house arrest, that way we can be sure you're not driving because you don't have a valid license anyway, it appears. No driving in the event you think that you're going to. No alcohol or drugs unless prescribed, and no weapons. Do you have any weapons in your home, sir?
Oh, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Oh, Your Honor.
Did you say no?
Oh.
Okay. All right, anything else?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
No,
All right,
Judge, thank you.
November 9th, and the court will sign the order for court appointed attorney. All right, so don't go anywhere, Joe, with that remote, because Detective Carr is right behind you for the PPO violation here. All right, thank you. I don't, you know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Okay, I guess, well, we won't have a case number because, all right, thank you, Mr. Serrano. Yeah, the next individual has retained counsel.
All right, Your Honor, I'm standing by if there's some other late arrival. If not, have a nice weekend.
Okay, you as well. I'm hoping there's nothing else after this one, so.
Thank you.
All right,
Well, that was that. I don't know how clear it was or if it was very fun, but look, this is really my first one. I did a couple of test ones where everything was just kind of like super choppy, but that was too. So, but I'm kind of just getting the controls down and figure out how I'm going to record and transfer it to one computer to the next. I really just need to get a new computer too. Just something that's for videos, for streaming. But that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to play this video out and you guys all take care.